I mean, I have a question about Cinephobe.
I got an answer.
Good. Because I'm sure this is not the first time somebody's asked you this. So what happens to a movie if it's not Cinephobe eligible, right? It's too good to be Cinephobe eligible,
right?
But somebody wants to talk about it. Like, what do you guys have a subsection of movies that are too good that you still do a pod on, or no?
We refer them to a different podcast.
Okay, so me and Juju Gotti over the weekend, we had the MMA hangout. Him and I were hanging out, watching the fights and all that stuff. I don't remember how it exactly came to be, and I don't know if Juju's out there, if he can hear me. If he can, just know I'm sorry. We started talking about certain movies. I think it was like Kung Fu movies, right? We were talking about Kung Fu movies back and forth, whatever. And then I brought up somebody did something and it reminded me of Undercover Brother.
Oh, love that movie.
Too good for Cinephobe, which I was surprised by.
No, that movie's great.
It's a great movie, but also I didn't think that people would be like...
They would get it? You thought...
Exactly. So... Me and
78% of
that,
the
I was
meter.
very surprised when I saw 78. So me and Juju Gotti came up with Mystery Phobe, which is a podcast that's too good Rotten Tomato films that we can talk about on Mystery Crate. So I'm thinking of doing that. Me and Juju Gotti, you can be a part of it. Anybody else who's seen Undercover Brother can also be a part of it. But I think that's one thing that I want to do.
So I take that back. We did do one episode for Mystery Crate. It was me, Zach, and Mike Ryan, and we did the first Mortal Kombat movie, which does not qualify. And we did that on Mystery Crate. And then we did on Cinephobe, we did Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Which definitely qualified. So yeah, we have done this before.
You also did an April Fool's episode once with Adnan on The Departed.
Yeah, on The Departed, which I regret now not giving it a phobe. That movie's dumb.
Phobe.
It's a dumb movie.
Really?
It's
The Departed is dumb.
Oh my god.
And they gave Scorsese the
I loved it when I was 15. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
First 10 times I watched it, I loved it.
It's like they gave
what's dumb about The Departed?
It's just
because other than Jack Nicholson being ridiculous.
I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Like the idea that like the leader of the mob is out here doing day-to-day stuff. Like, can you imagine Tony Soprano or Vito Corleone like just out there in the streets killing people? No, that's the whole point of being a mob.
Sometimes Tony got his hands dirty, but only when things were hitting close to home.
Yeah. A little too close to home.
Spoiler alert.
No, she did a good job. No, she did a good job.
That was very vague. Honestly, couldn't have been more vague.
You can't spoiler alert a show that premiered in 2000.
I agree with that.
At this point,
why can't you?
I don't think you can spoil.
If you haven't watched The Sopranos, that's a you problem. It's been available to stream for 12 years.
So you're saying 23 years? That's like, where are you drawing the line? When?
I'm probably drawing the line at like 2017.
Oh, I think you could go sooner than that.
Wow, really?
Yes, I'm thinking of movie or shows that
you can't, like, for example, I haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Go ahead, Chris.
An episode of Breaking Bad. And yet, like, if somebody ruins it for me, I'm not going to be like, you jackass, you ruined it for me. Because the show's been in the popular culture. It's been available to stream. It's a me problem.
It is definitely a you problem.
Walter White dies, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had season 2 of White Lotus spoiled for me. That I was angry about.
I still have Roy's box set of Breaking Bad.
No, you lost it, remember?
You found it.
That's what I told you. I'm getting to it, Roy.
Okay.
Andrew Siciliano is going to join us. So he no longer... What happened?
We're supposed to run that tomorrow.
Oh, my bad.
Yep, mark that.
There's a lot going on in here, Whittingham. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Okay.
I'll do a pickup.
Go.
I think for TV shows, it's honestly like a couple years. If it's a really popular show, if it's like Mad Men or Breaking Bad, like a couple years. If it's a niche show that not a lot of people have seen, I tread lightly.
Orphan Black.
Sometimes it takes people a while to get around to those shows, so I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about on that note, right? The idea of shows that are huge that you may still not have seen it, like Lost.
Yeah.
Never seen Lost.
And that's spoilable. I mean, if someone spoiled Lost, are you really going to be upset? You've chosen
I think you
not
would.
to watch.
No, I think you would.
You've chosen not to.
From what I hear,
that was so in the popular culture that I know how it ends.
From what I hear,
based off the conversation, I never seen an episode, but like, isn't it like they all were dead?
From what I hear, it was already spoiled by the makers.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Hated that show by the end.
I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows.
Everyone who loved that show
you
ended
liked
up
every
hating
season.
I liked every season. Yeah, the Smoke Monster. Like, yeah, I like that. I love that show.
That's
You
a
are
show
the
that
smoke monster.
I know I am. Just have
That's
one.
a show I didn't watch when it was out in its regular run. And then by the time that I was interested in watching it, so many people had said that the quality dropped off significantly from like the first to second to third and then fourth season that I'm like, I'm not even really interested in starting it. I want to watch a show that's going to have a series arc, and I'm going to enjoy the last season at least as much as I enjoyed the first season.
I ran into this with one of my friends who was like, should I watch Game of Thrones? And I said, sure. I said, but like everyone was shitting on it. I was like, yeah, by the end, it's really terrible. But
The last season was so bad.
the last 2.5 seasons were bad.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
I haven't rewatched the last season.
I was early on that wave, like this show is falling apart.
But you stay with it, right?
Let me
Like,
look at me, Louie, for a second. Because I started watching Game of Thrones as it was premiering week to week on HBO. Like, I was obsessed with that show. Thank you.
I mean,
Yes, Lord.
it's honestly like that. Not that much of an achievement. Like that's how most people used to watch television shows until like 7 years ago.
That is an achievement for pretty much any show that's come out in the last 10 years, I would say. And I watched.
10 years.
Are you saying you watched
Game
it
of Thrones
first?
premiered in like 2010 or 2011. I want to say.
Huh.
No, I didn't watch it first. I'm just saying I was on board the Game of Thrones train really early, whereas like I knew, the things that were happening and people would rewatch and I'd be like, I saw that years ago. But I rewatch every season when the new season would come out. So I rewatched the first and second seasons like, 6 or 7 times by the time the 8th season came out.
Watch the whole series.
Whole
The
thing.
whole series.
I was I loved Game of Thrones. And then the last season came out and I shit you not, that final episode came out. I didn't even think of Game of Thrones for like a year and a half. I forgot it existed. I was just completely blocked it out.
so ready for it to die. I was I watched every episode. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like, just get it over with.
But TV was better, right? When you had to wait 6 days for the next episode.
1,000%.
Like you had no choice.
Right now, so the HBO show that's on right now, that's going to be a monster show, The Last of Us.
Last of Us, yeah.
It is so goddamn good. It is so good. And I love, even though because I played the game, a lot of it is like, I know it's about that person's not going to survive, kind of all that stuff. It is so fun and tension building. I love Stugotz waiting 7 days. I love it because you know why? We get to have these conversations. See, when you binge it, it's like, oh, I watched the whole. Well, like I just started.
There's no, hey, what do you think's going to happen here? There's no guessing game. There's no waiting. You get to watch other shows while you're waiting 6 days for that show. It was a better time.
And you lose the appeal of the development, right? The development happens in front of your eyes.
Right.
It's all one big arc that happens in front of you as opposed to happening over a 10-week period. I do want to get back to something Stugotz said, though, which is like you were just in on Lost and you couldn't find it from within yourself to dislike it. I'm like that. I'm with you on that. I watched the last season of Scrubs that aired on ABC. Everyone said that was garbage, and I still liked it because I just I like being around those people.
Well, you're so invested at that point, right?
Exactly.
Half of those people were gone, though.
I know, but I recognize that it's bad, and I still like it. Because I'm in on this show. Like, I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. I might have defended the last season of Game of Thrones if I were like,
no.
that's just how I am.
It was
like,
indefensible.
I get so invested in things that like I cannot remove myself from this thing. I'm like, oh no, it's actually bad.
I will always, if I'm invested in a show, like the last show that I literally just gave up on was The Walking Dead. Because
it carried on for like 7
Oh, it's still going.
Wait, hold on a second. So there's been shows where you've watched the first 2 or 3 seasons. They've been great. 4 or 5, not so good, and you just dropped the show?
Speaking of
The Walking Dead.
I know, but you're so invested at that
But
point.
no, but The Walking Dead pissed me off because it turned into, you know how, you watched it, Jess, right?
I didn't really watch it like that much, but I followed along.
The Walking Dead basically was like, okay, it starts in like, what is this virus? And oh my God. And then they find out like in one of the seasons, oh, we all have it. We're just once you die, you turn anyway. It's not about getting bit. And then I was like, is there a cure? And then you slowly, it's like, you know what? The zombies are scary, but it's even scarier, the humans, because they're all pieces of shit and they all want to kill you. And then there's cannibals. And so then at some point, it turns into, we found salvation. It's a safe space. Everything's awesome here. But things aren't as they appear. And then they turn out to be evil. And they got to kill everybody. And then they're back on the road again. And then they find somewhere. And it's so awesome. And this is utopia. And we finally somewhere say, but things aren't always as they appear. And they just did this shit over and over. And by the 5th time, I was like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm drooling.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on me. Fool me 4 times, shame on. Fool me 5 times though.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Walking Dead.
There you go.
I'm not watching that shit anymore.
All right then.
But Stugotz, to your point, yes, most of the time if I'm invested in a show, I will watch all the way to the end, even as I'm hating it.
Stu, one of our favorite shows is a bit like this, The West Wing. The West Wing.
I felt like it was good all the way through.
But there's a dividing line. There's Aaron Sorkin leaves after season 4.
Yes.
And then there's the non-Aaron Sorkin seasons. It's a different show. I will keep watching, even though like in my head I'm like, this isn't as good. But like you'll keep watching through seasons 5, 6, and 7, and you enjoy the Congressman Santos against is it Alan Alda's character?
Yes.
Congressman Santos.
Yeah.
Congressman. Well, yeah. I mean, he was Congressman Santos. So it takes on a different
Visionaries.
incarnation now.
Yeah.
But I mean, well, this Congressman Santos was not a fraud. But yeah,
Allegedly.
you keep going. You keep going. So like,
I think when you invest 3 years into something,
Yeah.
3 years
but
into
like Lost,
something.
everyone says Lost was bad by the end, and
Right.
yet, but you had invested so much. Like I'm seeing this through to the end, and I still think I like this.
Yes. It's kind of like radio shows. Like Mike and the Mad Dog, first 5 years, amazing. Came out of the gates, awesome. Second 5 years, even better. They're back, by the way, doing First Take together.
Yeah,
Mike and the Dog.
they haven't come on yet.
But then they got worse, okay, after like 10, 12 years. And I'm 12 years invested, and I got to see how this thing finishes. And it finished with a fucking with the most, I'm sorry, Billy. It finished the most amazing way possible with Mad Dog lobbying for his own show, not getting it, going back to Francesa, and then Mad Dog saying, you know what? I don't want my own show. I'll take my own station, and left Mike. And now Mike is coming back, and the story's not over.
Yeah.
Against Christopher Russo's will. We could make a movie out of
This is look, I'm enthralled.
I didn't know if you were still talking about Mike and the Mad Dog halfway through that.
But as bad as it got at the end, and it was bad, I stayed with it. I stayed with it to the very end.
Attaboy.
And now
You've
they're
never
back
angled for your own show.
today.
Austin, we're headed into championship weekend. So obviously we would ask you, how do you get an Uber? Like, do you have your own special type of like Uber or Lyft? Because we were talking before. I don't know why today when I was driving in, I was kind of thinking about what we talked to you about. And I was like, I don't envision a situation where I'm an Uber driver and I go to pick someone up and it's just like Austin Ekeler is there and he just kind of steps into my car, you know?
So funny story. So I haven't had an issue with it yet. I don't think I've ever been recognized in an Uber before, but I was with Philip Rivers back in the day and I forgot what his name was, but he used to go by some different name when he would get an Uber or something like that. But so I haven't had it yet.
So you don't tell us, but do you have a name that you go by that's not your own name?
No, but But I maybe in the future. I just don't have a lot of Ubers. You know, usually it's around this time of year where I start getting more. So we'll see.
Okay. Do you have then? Don't tell us who the teammate is. We can try to figure it out, or someone that you know, like the coolest name that people use that's not their name. You don't have to tell us who it is.
I wish we had more conversations like that because I would be really interested to know. But yeah, I have no idea. We haven't had those conversations of what alias you go by when you're getting into Ubers.
But even at hotels, you're checking in as Austin Ekeler?
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't really check in. Like if I'm at a hotel, usually it's for a company. And then I feel like, I don't know, people recognize me and they come up to me. They don't see the name, then know it's me. I feel like they see me and they know it's me before. No, I'm able to like give them a name or anything.
And we come up with a name.
That's exactly
yes.
Can we come up with a name for Austin Ekeler?
We're all on the same page here. Okay. But you need to commit to when you are using this name, that name. So if people come up to you like Austin, you're like, no, it's Fred, whatever.
All right, let's get a name. I want to hear what we got.
All right, are we coming up with a name, Billy, or are you going to solicit the audience? Are you going to do it on social media and have them come up with a name? How do you want to do this?
That's a good one.
Let's do that. Let's do that and do an engagement. Maybe, maybe.
Can we tie it into the app somehow?
I was just going to say, we're all on the same page today. This is great.
I know, crazy. No, Austin would love that. Like, that'd be cool if a fan came up with a cool alias for him that he uses moving forward and get some sort of, gift off the app from Austin. That'd be cool.
There we go.
Yeah, you like that idea?
Yeah. I love the idea. I love it. Let's do it.
So let's do it like this, Billy. On social media, we're saying we're looking for an alias for Austin Ekeler, okay? but they have to download his app, and they have to give him the name in the app, okay? And he'll select one of them, and they'll get something from Austin.
I'll give him a personalized video.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there we go.
Whatever they want.
Yeah. I'm going to go in there and do it. What's that face, Billy? What's that face?
I don't believe you.
Yeah, well, I've heard that from you.
Billy, this is the first time I've seen that background.
Yeah, so normally I'll do it from home, but I'm in the studio today because
all right,
we had meetings and stuff like that. There's a lot going on here. There's a prize wheel. There's all kinds.
Yeah,
of
well, I want to spin that. We need to have some reason to spin that in this episode.
Okay, so you don't know how this place works. So we have this prize wheel that I can spin right now. Here's the problem: like it's missing one of the little pegs here, and I can spin it, but what's missing is the little stopper. So like you can't hear the sound, and it will just spin. If I spin it hard enough, it'll just keep spinning forever.
Go for the entire episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So Billy, next week, can we do this? I will join you from that location.
Okay? You won't.
You're right. But
you'll get home at 7 o'clock if you do.
But you'll stay in that location and put topics on the wheel, okay?
Okay.
And we'll spin it, and wherever it lands, Austin's got to answer.
I think he's going where I'm thinking.
No, maybe not, but we can do that for next week. But how many colors are there? There's what, 5? Oh, there's six different colors.
Yeah, it looks like 6 repeated a couple times.
All right, what if we all get a color?
Uh-huh.
And if it lands on your color, you got 10 push-ups.
Oh.
If it lands on orange, we all have 10 push-ups. If it lands on green, then no one has 10 push-ups.
I want to do that today. We're doing that today.
That's a lot of
I like it. Let's do it right now.
Okay, wait, no. Does your body feel good enough to do 10 push-ups right now?
Guys, my internet is cutting out.
Mikey A can't do 10. Can you make it 5?
See, I was thinking that we get 6
you can make
of
it whatever you want. I'm doing 2.
We get 6 of the name suggestions, and then I'll find a way to fix this wheel by next week, and then we can spin it around, and then that could be your alias for the week. And then the following week, so it'll be like an alias wheel.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like it.
Use experience, send in your submissions there, and then Austin can give us 6 suggestions, and then we'll spin it, and then that'll be your alias for the week.
Well, you can't send some submissions on experience, but you can do it on your socials.
Okay. All right. Do it on the socials. Yeah. So, Billy, we'll narrow it down to 6 aliases, and you'll put all 6 of them up there, and then whichever one it lands on. Austin, is that cool with you? We'll run the 6 by you before we put them up there, okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
That's great. Billy, do you want to give Austin an update here on Ricky Williams?
Yes.
Because he wants to talk astrology. We made a promise that we try to get Ricky on. But I do believe Ricky's not available this week, so we're trying to make it happen next week, right?
So I do have an update. I spoke to Ricky's people. Ricky could not do today. However, Ricky is available in our time slot next week on this day at this time. So we should be able to make next week happen with Ricky Williams.
Nice.
Yeah. So make sure that you I know you said that you're going to reach out to your family to get your birth time. Make sure you have your birth time.
Yeah, it's 12:03.
Okay.
Oh, wow. He did his homework. We didn't do hours.
Wait, morning or afternoon?
No, you can try. It's all good. He didn't have availability. It's not on you.
There's a PM situation, 12:03 in the afternoon?
AM.
AM. Wow. Okay. That changes
4
everything.
minutes from an earlier birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could have been celebrating a different day.
Yeah.
We should actually ask Ricky when he does your reading what would have happened if he would have been born 4 minutes earlier on a different day. How would that have affected his chart?
Yeah.
But that's for next week.
I want this answer.
Wait, but we have too many things going on right now with the goddamn wheel, okay? Are we doing the sit-up, push-up thing? Mikey A is sprinting away from this, I've noticed. Are we going to do this or not?
If I could sprint away from it, I would do it.
I think at the end we should do it. Okay?
I'm in.
All right.
Okay.
So what are we doing here, though? If it lands on like Austin, how do you want to do this?
Let's go back to here. Billy, can you talk real quick so I can see the wheel?
Yeah. Okay. So
I think I got 7.
We have blue, yellow, and then like a red.
So everyone pick a color.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I pick yellow.
You got yellow. Okay, of course you have yellow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, both
Mikey A, what color are you choosing? A color that's not on there?
I see red. I'll do red.
Okay,
right.
red.
Billy, what do you got?
No, I'll do light blue. Light blue.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Charger blue.
Okay. Charger blue. Okay.
I'm gonna do green.
Okay. You stole my thunder.
Oh, you want green? You can have green. I'll do pink. I don't care.
All right. No, you chose green. I'll therefore take pink. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. All
All right.
right. So,
So everyone has a color now. What hasn't been?
Red,
orange hasn't been chosen.
Yeah, it's like a red orange hasn't been chosen, and neither has dark blue.
So dark blue, let's have that be everyone has 10, and then the red orange, no one has 10.
I like that because that's the one. I don't know if you cut on. That's the one there's the most of. All of them only have 2, except that red seems to have 4, which I was counting. I was like, I need to avoid that.
That's why
red.
I bailed.
Really?
I
He didn't catch on. He didn't catch on. Austin doesn't sweat doing a couple of sit-ups or push-ups. It's us.
I sweat thinking about it.
Oh my God! So you're going to be out. All right. So we'll spin it at the end here, okay?
Nice.
And we'll see what we have to do, if we have to do anything at all. You're going to be at a Super Bowl, I'm told, huh? Like you're going to be
I'll be out there. I'll be out there all week. Are you guys gonna be out there?
Yeah, we're going to be out there. So Sean is getting us tickets to the Maxim party, which we're very grateful for. I think he is. He'll regret it once he meets us.
Sean.
Yeah. He'll regret it the second we walk in. 3 old guys who are ready to go to bed at that time. But I'm thinking, listen, how about you and I together with Billy, Radio Row? We do an hour or so together, get some guests together. What do you think?
I'm gonna be pushing experience hard across all medias out there. So I'm definitely down to jump on and chat a little bit. I don't know if we can commit to a full hour, but definitely can get on there.
Okay. Here's the promise I'll make you, because, I'm a big hit on Radio Row, and I'll walk around and people will ask me to come on, and I will be there on behalf of the Experience app. How about that?
Nah, you ain't got to do that.
What do you mean?
You don't want him representing your company. What did you just promise?
Billy, it's promotion. It's promotion.
You've done enough. I feel like I don't want to take advantage of you, man. Like this is, it's the friendship, right? If you want to mention me, great. If not, all good.
I mean, listen, this is what a friend does for another friend, and take advantage of me all you want, okay?
No doubt. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, we'll catch up out there, though. Yeah, I'm definitely down to let's jump on for a good 30, 45 minutes.
Okay, that'd be great.
If we got some good stuff going, we'll keep it going.
All right, awesome. When you went with Philip Rivers, was it the entire family? Like, was it an Uber XL? Like, what happened there?
That's an Uber Mike Antoniou size.
Yeah, his family couldn't fit in any Uber. No, we were just chatting around the table one time, and he was just talking about how he doesn't use his real name for Ubers or anything, like, because you got to imagine that was down in San Diego when we were talking about that, and so he had been there for so long, so it's a little different than being up in LA, which still you probably get recognized. I'd be interested if Herbert has a different name.
Yeah, listen, there's an easy way to find out. Just send them a link here, and we'll bring them on real quick.
Yeah, I'll send them a text.
He loves the media.
Okay, you're gonna send them a text right now. So that all right. So you got your birth time, which is 12:03. So next week, find out if Herbert has an alias.
I will.
Okay. But I don't think he'll be happy if you tell us what the alias is.
I can't leak it though. I just want to know if he does.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm certain that he does. There's no way that he doesn't. I would guess Keenan Allen probably has one, right?
It just depends. It depends on how much they're Ubering. If they're not doing it a bunch, then who knows? We'll see.
I was telling the guys before, I had to fly home to get here in time, and we're wondering, are you a fast driver, a reckless driver? I imagine you to be a fast driver for some reason.
I'm in California, so in California, you go as fast as you can. Right? That's just kind of how it goes, right? It's bad when I go back to Colorado because the speed limits will be 55 out there, but there's no one on the roads, and so I'll be going 70, and I'm like, whoa, I'm not in California anymore. Where it's 65 on the highway, but you go 80, 85 if you can. Right. And so that's just the way it is out here. On the 405, you just go until you can. Usually can't go that fast because there's traffic, but when you can, you fly.
Yeah, when you can go, you got to fly, right? Exactly. But in Colorado, it's I'm going to Boulder this weekend, as a matter of fact. Colorado, it is 55, 60, right? But it's dangerous. But it's dangerous driving, man. You're there's cliffs and stuff,
Well, if you're in the mountains, you're not going that fast. You're going 35 around those corners and stuff like that. But down in the plains, people always think Colorado, think of the mountains. And I did not grow up in the mountains. I grew up in the plains of Colorado, but obviously went up there a bunch, especially for college. But Boulder's right at the bottom, so you'd be fine there.
All right, I'll be okay. Billy, why'd you make that
You won't
face
fall
that I
off
was
the
going to Boulder?
I'm just learning you're going to be out of town again, and I'm trying to figure things.
This
out.
man, he's traveling everywhere.
Yeah,
Man.
you really are.
My daughter's listen, her lacrosse season is starting, and so it's important for me, Austin, as a dad. Like, she's a freshman there, and she chose a school. It's an elite lacrosse school, and I told her, like, listen, look at the roster. There are 4 seniors who play your position, so you might not play that much your freshman year. And she made that decision on her own, and she's cool with it. But I want to make sure she knows that her father is there for her, whether she plays or not. That's important to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get that. That's how my mother was. She was there, support. And it just, I feel like it really like resonates deep inside. We're like, yeah, my family really does have my back, you know? And like, we know that. Well, I knew that. And so it's like, when I see that, and it's like, it just reiterates, like, she's always been there, my mother, from day one, and still is there to continue to support me all the way through. So yeah, that's important.
And you noticed it, right? Like,
yeah, take pictures.
I will. Austin Ekeler is with us. We love having him on every single week. Billy has some bathroom questions for you that we'll get to. We'll get to in just a second. But I'm wondering,
stuff, what we got, Billy?
You want to go straight to him? Because I was going to ask you, like, has this, like, the sting of that loss, has it worn off at all now that we're 10 days removed from it?
I just did like a little meet and greet session yesterday, and probably every 5th person, man, what happened to the Jags, man? What happened to that Jags game? We'll talk about the Jags game. I was just like, yeah. So, you know, I think this is going to be one that kind of plays itself out all off season. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to be or forget and move on, because other people will just keep bringing it up.
All right, well, tell them to stop. Like people like me.
Yeah, but hey, look, I'm open to it. I'm open to it. It's all good. They want to talk about it. Yeah, it was terrible. I know. It sucks.
No, but you personally, you're still feeling it. Like, tell me you didn't watch Kansas City last week with Mahomes hobbling around, and you're saying to yourself, we'd beat that team by 14 today.
Yeah, look, I don't like to live in the what if world, but man, yeah, if we had that opportunity, I think you know, we tear them up.
Yeah. All right, Billy, take us to the bathroom.
Well, I mean, so this is what happens when I start talking before we get going, is I say things that I don't necessarily intend to. So I was telling them, we were talking about the Uber thing. I was telling them I was thinking about the Uber thing, and I was also like, I also was rushing to get in because I really had to go to the bathroom. And it was like a situation where it's like, I got to get there, or I'm going to have to somehow call out of work and tell them like I needed to go back home, and they're going to wonder why. And I'm not going to be able to explain that situation. So like when you're, yeah, like I would have shit myself. Yeah. No. Yeah. It was bad. There's a stomach virus going around, Austin. I don't know if you're aware of that. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a stomach virus going around, and I didn't want to fall victim to the stomach virus while I was driving into work. Now, let's say there's a stomach virus going around and you're on the field. How are you handling that during a game if you have the stomach virus?
Definitely run into the locker room. Sorry,
Really?
Coach. Have to, man. Look, you go out there, you crap your pants, and then you will always, forever, regardless of how good of a career you had, you will always be remembered as the dude that crapped his pants on the field.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson took the cart into the tunnel to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. See, you got to get out of there. Yep.
But there's no scenario, there's no situation where you're crapping in your pants. Zero
scenarios.
Wait, but let me paint a picture. AFC Championship game. Okay, you're down by 6. It's 4th and 1 on the 1, and your coach goes for it because he always goes for it. And this would be a warranted place to go for it. But Austin Eckler's got to go to the bathroom.
Coach
and he knows he's getting the ball. He knows the ball's coming to
him. I'm staying in. You gotta pinch him.
Attaboy!
Gotta pinch him.
So Austin,
it would be the first TD celebration of its kind. You scoring a touchdown and taking a dump in the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
10 years ago, Austin, Wes Welker was on the show, and he told us that Larry Izzo got a game ball for going to the sideline and discreetly going in a bucket. And no one caught on to it, and he got a game ball for that.
Wow. What a legend. Wow. Wow.
He deserved a game ball for that, right?
But you're telling me, maybe the locker room was far away. Sometimes they are far away. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I feel like we should, why do we not have a bathroom, like a little portable bathroom on the sideline?
Why can't you use like the concussion tent? I know it shouldn't
Billy,
be used for that.
Billy, that's a great point. He's asking for a portable bathroom on the sideline. Like, you love stuff like this, Bill.
I think I've seen this. I'm going to look this up. I feel like I've seen that there was like a college that had one that like just came up like right over you, and it was like a little porta potty, and then it would close. I'm looking this up right now. You guys,
I just picture a line outside of it though. Like that's where it gets weird, you know? Like
it'd be great on the Chargers sideline, and like Keenan Allen's lined up, and he's waiting for Justin Herbert, and Ekeler's behind Allen,
and some backup guard is holding it up.
Oregon had a pop-up. Oregon has a pop-up porta potty that they use on the sideline.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's just quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great idea. Austin, like, have you talked to draft classes before? Because you went undrafted, and so, you know, soon after the season, the NFL draft will happen, and I imagine you love stories like Brock Purdy, last pick in the draft. You went undrafted. He actually got drafted, but he's Mr. Irrelevant, and here he is a game away from the Super Bowl. Have you ever talked to guys who are coming out of college going into the NFL? And if so, like, what are you kind of telling them? What kind of advice are you giving them?
Yeah, I mean, I usually talk to, you know, our draft class every single year with the Chargers. But I've never talked to like I guess I lied. Last year I did talk to a draft class out in Vegas. It was like the first people that were projected to go first and second round. They had like this little seminar for them. And really it just came down to the mentality, man, like the mental focus and mental dedication that you have to this opportunity has got to be unmatched compared to anything else you've ever committed to. And that's what helped me. So I just speak from my experience, right? Where it's like this becomes your number one priority because the opportunity is life-changing, right? It's an opportunity to change your entire lifestyle. And so really my message comes down to mentality and then just commitment to learning and actually knowing and getting to know your coaches so that they know you as well. And so that'll never change as far as my message, because coming in, especially the first and second rounders, they have like all these endorsements, all this other stuff, and they haven't played a damn down on the field, right? Well, it's like all that stuff doesn't matter unless you're actually out there, you know, making plays. And so, sure, that's great, but guess what? Put that stuff aside. That stuff does not matter, because if you do your job, guess what? You can have all that times 10. And so, like I said, for me, it all comes back to just this, because they're there for a reason. You're getting picked up, undrafted, drafted for a reason. You have an opportunity to go play, and it's like you got to commit. Because I've had rookies that come in, and they'll feel like they know it. They'll feel like they got it, and the opportunity passes right by their face. And it's like, here's the thing: you can't help someone that thinks they know it. Like I need guys that come in that are wanting to ask questions, that know that they don't know, and are wanting to get better, because that's someone that can be coachable. That's someone that you can actually form and help out. And so when I get guys in, it's all about the mentality. And I hope, you know, you can try to, you know, lead a horse to water, right? But you can't make them drink, you know, that old saying.
Right.
So,
yeah, because
it's a really crucial time in their career.
I would imagine you're a great symbol of hope for guys who went undrafted or who go late in the draft. You're one of 4 players who has back-to-back, I think it's 18 touchdown seasons in NFL history, and you went undrafted. So I would imagine that you're kind of like a symbol of hope for them, and you probably preach that a little bit. Best players play. It doesn't matter where you drafted, Austin, even if you went undrafted.
Matter.
Right.
It does not matter. If you're here, you got an opportunity, give it your best, see what happens. And that's exactly what I've done. And then I've continued to build on that. Right. And it takes time too. Like I used to be a special teams guy, you know, 6 years ago, no one knew my name. You know, I was out there making special teams tackles. And that's where it started for me. So some of these guys, they got to learn some patience, because guess what? I've been playing for 6 years. So, you know, I know the game pretty well. And you just got here. So you're going to have to earn the trust of the coaches. You're going to have to earn the trust of the rest of us before you get consistent reps.
Are you loving this Brock Purdy story?
Yeah, it's great. It's great, man. It's just more opportunities, you know, or not opportunities, but more examples of people that are getting opportunities that are making the most of it, and doing what they had in mind, or not what they had in mind, but what they had in store. Like they're using their talents for now an opportunity that where it came, they were ready, and now they're actually able to actually take advantage of it. And so here's the thing: you never know when an opportunity is going to come. That's why you always have to stay ready and be ready.
That's your kind of guy. Like a guy, he was clearly ready for this opportunity.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was the same way, man. I never knew when my opportunity was going to come, and mine came a little earlier, or I guess a little later. I guess he's in his first season. He came in like the later in the season. You know, you never know when it's going to come, and so stay ready.
You're one of 4 players, just so I make sure. Are you aware of this? I'm certain you are. One of 4
I had
players.
no idea.
You're one of 4 players in 15 years to score at least 15 touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. You weren't aware of that?
Let's keep it going, man. How many have done it in 3?
Well, along with Marshall Faulk, you are one of 2 players in NFL history to have 10 or more rushing touchdowns and 5 or more receiving touchdowns in consecutive seasons. Did you know that?
I saw that one, yes. Yeah, I saw that one. Right. Let's keep pushing the bar. And then at the end of my career, I'll look back and see how much I've done.
All right. You're going to keep it going, all right? We're not retiring anytime soon, right? Even though your body hurts and you're tired, you're exhausted, and you're concerned about yourself. I know you are. You're going to keep this thing going for as long as you can, right?
As long as I can, maybe a different story. I feel like, there's going to be some type of decline probably in the future, and hopefully before it gets too ugly, I'm out of there.
Okay. All right. So you don't want to be one of those guys who hangs on just to hang on. It's like, hey, I got to be at a certain. When I retire, I got to be at a certain level, and I'll walk away on top.
I don't know, because there's different scenarios that are intriguing to me. I think of a guy like Mark Ingram, where he was, he came out of college, was hot, had his peak, and now he's more so like in a backup, but he's still not necessarily a backup. Like you trust him to be in the game, but he's not getting the full load of an NFL game. And I'm like, that's not a bad spot to be in. And so hopefully I got a few more peak years in me, which I know I definitely do. And then we'll figure out from there.
I think the greatest position in sports is Chad Henne's position. Backup quarterback, clipboard, never takes a hit. And then he gets an opportunity, and he's the only guy in Chiefs history. He has the longest playoff drive in Chiefs history, and I'm including Len Dawson and Patrick Mahomes. It now belongs to Chad Henne. Backup quarterback holding a clipboard, making $50 million for your career is a pretty good gig, right?
It's not bad. It's not bad. You get to be around the sport, be around the guys. You go run the scout team offense during the week, and then you're probably not going to be needed on game day, but you still stay ready, so you're still connected and bought in. And really, I mean, I felt like as far as the pay too, you're getting paid more than most of these guys on the roster. So I mean, that's not a bad gig. You don't play usually down. Not too bad. Not too bad.
What do you think Saquon Barkley, what do you imagine? It's funny your position, because when I was growing up, running back meant everything, and the NFL became more of a passing league, as you know, and now Saquon Barkley is a free agent, and I'm certain you're paying attention to it, because one day you will be as well. And what are you expecting Saquon Barkley to kind of take in here? Because he had a phenomenal season, man.
Yeah, look, he's one of the premier backs in the league. He's one of the best. I saw his interview the other day. I think he did himself a disservice saying that, he's going to be realistic. And I'm like, bro, being realistic is that you're one of the best, if not one of the better runners in this league. So being realistic means you should be at the top of the market. My advice is never, talk about or try to I guess, give away any of your negotiating power or give away your mindset of where you're thinking about yourself. Because guess what? It might not be the same as what someone else is thinking, right? Don't discredit yourself, especially on in any interview. And so I'm hoping he gets what he deserves as far as the running back. He should be definitely up at the top.
You should reach out to him and be like, Saquon, what are you doing? First off, you're a market leader. You got to set the market for you, and I have to set the market for all the other running backs. Don't you dare take a penny less. You're affecting the rest of us, right?
Exactly. No, it really does. That's because that's the unspoken part of the NFL really is the contracts. You see the big contracts every once in a while, but as far as how it actually works, everyone's compared to everyone else. Okay, this person's getting paid this much, so I need to get more because I'm better, or I'm going to get paid just under because I'm not as productive as this person. And so that's how it all works. So if you have a guy who's like Saquon in his shoes, and he's been a stud, and he's gone out there and had 1,300 whatever rushing yards, bunch of touchdowns, right? And he takes a contract that's under his value. Now everyone else just got devalued. That's not playing up to his level. And so it's a dance. It's a dance that with an individual and then with the agent too. Your agent's got to be with it. All of our agents know this because they're the ones that are, looking at the other numbers, comparing to see what our market value is. So hopefully they're going to do a good job and get him what he deserves.
If you saw Saquon, you would be like, take that back, right? What are you doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't ever say that. Don't ever. But here's the thing. Yeah. You said he wants to be realistic. Like, I'm just like, okay, well, let's be realistic. You're one of the best, so you should get paid at the top.
Right.
I think
it's why everyone's pissed off at the Browns for paying Deshaun Watson that much money. Like they set the bar so high for the rest of the quarterbacks. I mean, there's other reasons as well, but that's why people are upset. Like all the other owners are upset at the Browns for doing that, right?
Yeah. And look,
and you don't care.
Well, for us, we care. We care that happens, but but
like you're happy you got paid that. Like, set the market.
Yeah.
Right.
We need guys to continue to get paid, continue to increase our cap, right? If a lot of us are getting paid, a high amount, guess what? Well, we're gonna have to keep increasing the cap so we can keep these guys, happy.
Yep. Billy is already, he's at the wheel. He wants to spin it because, our time with Austin's coming to an end this week. But I am really terrified. I don't want to do sit-ups or push-ups right now, man. I'm with Mikey A. Bad idea.
Hey, we're in now. We're in.
I don't want to watch a grown man die on camera.
Wait, Austin, how many sit-ups could you do right now? Like if you wanted to. Just how many consecutive sit-ups?
Sit-ups? I mean... So when I usually do like a sit-up workout, I'll just do 3 sets of just go until it hurts. Like you just keep going, and I don't really count. So a bunch.
I'll do that.
Yeah, we can do that. That's like 5 or 6.
I'll do that.
How about if Austin saw what was right next to me, Billy, which is the ab roller, because my fat ass can't do a sit-up on its own, so I need something to prop me up. You think differently. There's an ab roller right next to me, Austin. I bought it. I'm a sucker.
Nice.
Body by Jake.
Nice. You gotta start ripping that thing out. Nice. Get it going.
No, I keep it there because I want to give the illusion that I'm working out.
Yeah. It's available. Yeah, it's in there. It's an aesthetic.
But what's happened is people walk in and they're like, "Hey, you have an ab roller. How come you're so out of shape?" How many push-ups? Like, how many push-ups do you think?
How many push-ups? I don't know. I'm actually gonna do like a little workout challenge. I'm gonna challenge people to see how many push-ups you can do in a minute. But not just regular push-ups. The push-ups where you go down, put your chest on the ground, lift your hands up, then go do another one. So you make sure they're getting all the way down, all the way up.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Who's the biggest beast you've like? Who's like a gym beast? Like a guy that you're just like, oh, holy shit, what is he doing?
There's a few. Really, our center Corey Lindsley, like the dude like can rep 405 on bench. Like the dude's bench is insane. We also have on my team, Braden Fajoko, one of our nose guards, is also like that.
He's a badass.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's guys like that all across the league, and everyone's good at different things, right? Some guys are better at bench, some guys are better at squat. I like to do my 405 squat challenge. Where last time I did like 13 reps of 405. Squatting. So it's like that's one of my specialties.
Right. All right, I'm nervous, Billy. What are we doing? First off, Billy, let's do this before we spin that wheel, and we'll see what we all have to do here. Let's have Austin promote whatever he wants to promote, the fantasy show, the app, all that stuff, because I don't know if I won't be able to talk after I'm done doing 10 sit-ups or 10 whatever we're agreeing to here.
Yeah, man. Really, right now we're just really pushing hard for experience. We're about to do our full launch probably late next week or after that, when we'll actually start inviting basically everyone and their mother to come get on the site if they want to, and then we'll have more options for people to choose from as far as interactions that they want to come interact with some of our talents on there. So experience.net, spelled EKSPERIENCE.net. So yeah, check us out. I appreciate it.
All right, excellent. And quickly, I should have asked you this on the front end. What are you doing in Vegas with the NFLPA, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'm in LA with the NFLPA. So during the off-season, I live in Las Vegas. And so during the NFLPA, we have our conference with the executive committee. So there's 11 of us in the executive committee. And we're going out there and just continuing to to push ourselves in a direction and get ourselves organized so that we can go and present to the rest of the reps of each team and kind of let them know what's going on, things that we're working on as far as changes we're trying to get made internally, and then with our relationship with the owners as well.
Is there one or two things that are really important to Austin Ekeler that you're going to try, that you're pushing right now in these meetings?
Yes, but it's more so internal stuff that we need to figure out. One thing that's big for us, just with any, big organization, especially when we have 2,000 guys, is just the logistics of communication. And so things like that we're just always trying to get better at, that will continue to help us just continue to be on the same page, things like that. So there's more, but I digress from speaking about them.
Like the 11 of you, can you get together and just tell the NFL, the referees, to figure out what a catch is? Like Jamar Chase, that was a touchdown catch. I don't care. I've been watching football 40 years. He caught the ball. Like, why does this need to be so difficult?
Hey, he didn't maintain it. Yeah, I'm actually an advocate for having a few more refs out there. Like, let's get a few more refs. Why not?
Really?
But that catch, I would say no, that's incomplete. The man had no control through the ground.
Okay, all right, fair. But if it were your guy Keenan, maybe I don't know. Catch.
It would not be a catch, Keenan. It's not a catch.
Wait, so you want more referees out there, huh?
I think it would help so that you can really focus on like a matchup. Like is this pass interference? Is it not? Because the questionable calls they're huge, right? And so just to make sure that we're getting it right.
Okay. And by the way, also, if you could push this agenda for us, get rid of the chains. It's 2023. We don't need old men out there measuring with big. Like, get rid of them. They got all tangled up. The game was delayed. We don't need that.
I feel like we could have like some type of, how like soccer has like the offsides like technology where they know if you're offsides, if you're in front of the ball or not, behind the defender. Like, let's get some tech out there. We got people like, is that a first down? Yeah, first down. The
NFL is making billions of dollars. Tennis has figured it out. They have a machine out there that tells you if the ball's in or out. All right, we know you're going to run here. You've been great as always. So Billy's going to spin the wheel quickly. Then we'll get out of here and we'll catch up with you next week. All right, Billy, spin that thing.
Okay,
wait, what are our colors here?
Okay,
I got yellow.
Yes, Austin has yellow. Mikey has light blue. Stugotz, you have pink. I have green. If it lands on dark blue, everyone has to do. I don't know if it's push-ups or sit-ups, and if it's red, no one has to do it. And there's a temporary fix, which is an index card, is where the little stopper thing is supposed to go. And I did a trial, so it should hold up.
All right.
Nice.
So what are we doing? Push-ups or sit-ups here?
Yeah.
Either one.
Either one.
Okay, either one. All right. Go ahead, Billy. Spin it, and we'll get Austin out.
Let me get a good spin.
You spinning it? It's spinning. Play-by-play. A wheel is spinning.
Did you hear it or no? Oh, that's light blue.
Are you kidding me?
That's a light blue.
Mikey A.
Are you kidding me?
Mikey A's got to do. That's what we all wanted. Austin's cheering. Sean, I can't see you, but I know you're cheering. All right, do 10 or something, Mikey A. He's doing it right now. Can we get the camera on him?
10 something
2,
back there.
3, 4, 5.
We'll trust that he's doing them.
Yeah, there's no evidence that this is being done the right way.
I see his ass.
9.
It's his head.
10.
Good job, Mikey A. Good job. You'll be sore for a month.
Good stuff, Mike. Good stuff.
All right, Austin.
Push-ups.
Austin, fun as always, man. You are a good dude. We appreciate you, and we will catch up with you next week. Enjoy your time in LA and enjoy Vegas, of course, your off-season home.
See you, Gary.